Richard Hoagland has talked about this. People say he's crazy as a loon. You know, glass or crystal spires rising off the face of the moon. As a matter of fact, he made a rather compelling story that one of our spacecraft, which terminated, boom, like that, ran into one of these things.
Well, it seems rather interesting to me that a current employee and one of the highest-ranking people in his entire field would make public statements like this. And his statement was that we probably are looking at the possibility of alien artifacts as we described them. He said, and maybe we're not understanding what we're seeing. He said, but these are not made from the materials that's made from the moon.
All right. West of the Rockies, you are on the air with Ronald Regier, Daryl Sims, and Art Bell. Hi.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Art, this is Tim in Mesa, Arizona. I'm an ASU student. And 2 quick comments, and then I'll get off. If I saw your images on the computer of the rocket and then the swerving UFO, and I believe that if these men are shooting at these beings...
What images are you referring to, sir?
Well, I went to your website, and I saw a rocket shooting into the stratosphere and something swerving away from it.
What image is that, do you know?
I'm not exactly
sure.
Possibly
the STS-51 image?
Well, yeah, it could be STS-48 or...
Well, it was like a space image, and it was kind of in green. And it really struck me as funny because if they're doing that, then they're inadvertently risking the lives of a lot of otherwise innocent people.
Like us.
Like us.
Yeah.
And then another quick comment is I worked at Intel last year, and it's really scary because after the Arizona incidents, sightings, which I observed myself, inside the bathroom stalls and various parts of the Intel facility in the fabs, there were posted and definite markers, or actually signs that said procedures of how to deal with the UFO encounter or sighting.
Can you get copies of that?
Excuse me?
Do you have copies of that?
I actually could do that. I still have...
Would you be willing to send all 3 of us a copy?
Well, I've got Art Bell's website.
That'd be great.
To a computer.
All right.
I'm not working there now, but I am under contract, so I could be returning or I could visit my former boss. But it was very interesting to see that. And
all right, if you would please send us copies, would you?
Okay. And just one more thing: when the sightings were seen in Arizona, I saw it myself, and the stars in the background actually disappeared because this object was moving, and it was not.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Gentlemen, the Arizona sightings, the Phoenix sightings, there are many, many, many witnesses, and there's quite a bit of video as well. And a lot of the witnesses said that they discerned an absolute solid object. What's your take, the both of you, on what occurred in Phoenix? And surely Phoenix is a giant area. It was a giant whatever it was. And that would have been seen by satellite as well. And I understand there was a coincident alert at NORAD.
That's correct. They went to DEFCON 2.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah.
This is, who is this saying this?
This is Ron.
Ron? Mm-hmm. We went to DEFCON 2?
That's what I've heard. It was, the newspapers, I'll send you the newspaper article on that, Art. It was also reported in the local newspaper.
An actual, and they
did say DEFCON 2. It says they went on alert.
Went on alert. Yeah. And where does your information with regard to DEFCON 2 come from?
That comes from a person who would prefer to remain anonymous.
Okay.
That's a friend of mine.
Well, I had heard that Cheyenne Mountain went into a lockdown condition.
Yes.
That is correct.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Interesting on Cheyenne Mountain.
Why would you think Cheyenne Mountain would go into a lockdown condition for flares?
Unless I was afraid it's going to melt through a mile of granite. I have no idea. Those
are very hot flares. Thermite flares or something.
Yes, Which one of you are Ron, I think you've got a book, don't you?
Yes, sir.
What is the title of your book?
How to Build a $125 million UFO Detector.
And where is it available?
You can get that from, just send me a check or order it from me, and just address it to 8855 Atlanta, Suite 114, Huntington Beach, California, 92646. Again, that's Ron Regier, 8855 Atlanta, Box 114, Huntington Beach, 92646.
92646. Got it. Daryl, how about you? Do you have a book?
Well, I've got a whole group of things from our implant studies, as well as my book is not going to come out for a year, but I have some resource material and other things, and it's all on voicemail for those that are interested.
All right. You have a number.
The voicemail number is 281-587-5455. It also has a number on there for people to contact me in reference to their events, and a host of other things for them as well. 281-587-5455.
All right. Well, I wanted to get that in. Would you both like to do one more hour and take calls?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, good. All right.
Could I mention I'll be speaking at your chat club this May 16th?
You are?
Yes, sir.
Which one?
The one that's at the Learning Light Center, the Orange County Chat Club.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Just finished a presentation for us.
Yeah,
wow.
Very similar to that. And also I'll be at the LA-11.
Up near me.
That's right.
All right, gentlemen, hold on. We'll be right back. This is Coast to Coast AM. Good morning, everybody. It's great to be here. We have two experts in their respective fields. Ronald Regier, who designed Spies satellites and knows a lot about them, and Daryl Sims, who's been investigating abductions, implants, along with Dr. Roger Lear for a long, long time now, and was himself CIA at one time. And we'll get back to them and your questions in a moment. We'll try and devote the best part of the hour to your questions. Once again, back to my guests, Ronald Regier and Daryl Sims. Gentlemen, welcome back. I have a satellite question. I've always wanted to know this. Ron, maybe you can tell me.
Okay.
Do you believe that we have satellites up there now that can literally look through buildings?
Certainly.
Did you say certainly?
Yes. Not only that, we can tell if somebody was inside the building and has been out of that building for maybe an hour or so.
Oh, now how would you do that?
Infrared signature.
You mean it remains?
Sure. You touch, you hold a glass in your hand, and the heat from your hand transfers into that glass.
And the glass stays warm for a while.
Correct. And that's one of the ways we were able to find out where Terry Waite was. I wanted to clarify something on that Terry Waite. I thought about it because at one of my lectures, one of the people thought that maybe everybody had an implant or something like that. We have, and Daryl will confirm that we have a lot of ground assets, that's people. And if we were able to, let's say, find Terry Waite,
right,
and know where he was,
right,
and at the same time have monitoring from space on that area, then let's say we got notification from our ground assets that 3 people left the particular building and Terry Waite was in the center, and we could track those 3 spots, if you will, as they went from one spot to another. With then we could see if who was where and what was left over. So that's how we did that. We tracked Terry Waite that way. It wasn't a matter of any special signal that anybody has. It's a matter of being able to get corroborative evidence from the ground and then following that lead.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right, back to the lines. First-time caller line, you're on the air with Ronald Regier, Daryl Sims, and Art Bell. Hi.
How are you tonight, Art?
Okay, where are you?
I'm in Utah.
Utah, yes, sir.
Actually, I'd like to say I'm not only a first-time caller, I'm a first-time listener tonight.
Oh, glad you stumbled into us then.
Not typically into talk radio, but I find your program extremely fascinating.
Well, this is not typical talk radio.
It is not, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
You made a mention earlier to something which I'm surprised you didn't bring up tonight, considering the guests that you had, about a caller that called in about entering Area 51 and wandering around and apparently being deserted. And you were questioning to the movement of Area 51.
Right.
I've never been a real big space alien buff or anything like that, but just from knowledge that I have around here, being in Utah, I have heard of, and in fact last week somebody mentioned to me in passing in an armory about the movement of Area 51. And it's
yeah, but I don't. Okay, we'll ask about that right now. It's a very good point. I don't believe it personally. That is, that it has moved, because I live here in Pahrump, Nevada, and I'm going to tell this story again.